If you're a man over 40, there's something quietly happening inside your body right now, whether you feel it or not. Your prostate is slowly growing. It's been happening for years, and for most men, it continues unless something interrupts the process. By the time you reach 60, there's about a 50% chance it's already causing symptoms. By 80, that number rises close to 90%. And those symptoms aren't minor. Waking up multiple times at night, a weak or interrupted stream, that constant feeling your bladder never fully empties, and that sudden urgency at the worst possible moments. Over time, it affects more than just comfort. It affects your sleep, your confidence, and your overall quality of life. Now, here's the real question. What if slowing this process down didn't require medication? What if something simple, something you already have access to, could actually help target what's driving this? Today, I'm going to show you specific nuts that research has linked to better prostate health, and more importantly, I'll explain why they work inside your body so you understand what's actually happening. I'm Dr. Aria Brooks, and I help men restore their health, confidence, and performance as they age. Quickly, how old are you and where are you watching from? Let me know below. And stay with me until the end of this video because a few of these nuts will genuinely surprise you, especially one that works in a way most men completely overlook. Now, before we talk about the nuts themselves, you need to understand what's actually causing the prostate to grow. The prostate sits just below your bladder and surrounds the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of your body. When you're younger, it's about the size of a walnut, but starting around your mid-20s, it enters a second phase of growth that continues gradually over time. This is called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, which simply means non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate. Now here's the key driver. Hormone called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. DHT is created when an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase converts testosterone into a more potent form, and this is where the issue starts. The more DHT that reaches your prostate, the more those cells grow, and the larger your prostate becomes. Now, here's why this matters for you. The goal isn't to eliminate testosterone. Testosterone is essential for your energy, strength, and overall health. The real goal is to reduce how much of it gets converted into DHT, or reduce how strongly DHT affects your prostate. But there's a second driver most men overlook, and that's chronic inflammation. Releases signals that promote cell growth and creates oxidative stress that damages cells. In simple terms, it creates the perfect environment for the prostate to keep growing. And why does that matter? Because now you understand the real strategy. To slow prostate enlargement naturally, you need to target two things: reduce DHT activity and reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. And this is exactly where certain nuts become powerful, because some of them help target both at the same time. Now let's start with what I consider the most important nut for prostate health: Brazil nuts. What makes Brazil nuts so powerful comes down to a single nutrient: selenium. Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium on the planet. In fact, just one nut can provide more than your entire daily requirement. Now here's the simple version. Selenium helps protect your cells from damage. Inside your body, it supports a powerful antioxidant system, especially an enzyme called glutathione peroxidase. Don't need to remember the name, but here's what it does. Neutralizes harmful molecules that create oxidative stress. And why does that matter? Because oxidative stress is one of the key drivers of prostate enlargement. Damages prostate cells, disrupts normal function, and encourages abnormal growth over time. So when selenium levels are adequate, you're protecting your prostate at a cellular level. But it doesn't stop there. Selenium also helps reduce inflammation inside prostate tissue. It influences inflammatory signals in your body, helping calm the environment that promotes growth. And why does that matter? Because inflammation and prostate enlargement go hand in hand. The more inflammation present, the more your prostate is pushed toward growth. So now you're targeting two major drivers at the same time: oxidative stress and inflammation. Now here's something important. More is not better. Because Brazil nuts are so high in selenium, you only need 1 to 2 per day. That's enough to get the benefits without going overboard. In terms of how to use them, keep it simple. Eat them on their own or include them as part of your daily routine with the other nuts we'll talk about. The key is consistency, not perfection. Now, at this point, you've started protecting your prostate at a cellular level and reducing one of the key drivers of enlargement. But the next nut takes a different approach because it helps target inflammation and hormone balance at the same time. And that's where things start to become even more powerful. Now, the second nut I want you to focus on is walnuts. And what makes walnuts so powerful is that they target one of the biggest drivers of prostate enlargement we talked about earlier, chronic inflammation. Walnuts are rich in a plant-based omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Now, here's the simple version. Omega-3s help calm inflammation in your body by shifting the signals your cells produce. And as you age, those signals often become more inflammatory. And why does that matter? Because more inflammation means more pressure on your prostate to grow. When you reduce it, you slow that process down. But walnuts don't stop there. They also contain compounds your gut converts into something called urolithin A, which helps regulate how cells grow and repair. And why does that matter? Because prostate enlargement is essentially too much cell growth over time. So helping regulate that process brings things back into balance. Walnuts also provide zinc, which helps inhibit the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, the same enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT. And why does that matter? Because less DHT means less stimulation for prostate growth. So now you're covering multiple angles at once, reducing inflammation, supporting healthy cell function, and helping regulate hormones. Now, in terms of how to use them, keep it simple. A small handful a day, around 7 to 10 walnut halves, is enough. You can eat them on their own, add them to oatmeal or yogurt, or sprinkle them over a salad. And this is where most men get stuck. It's not knowing what's good for you, it's knowing how to actually put it together into something consistent. That's exactly why I created the Men's Vitality Blueprint. Inside, I break this down very simply, including a curated list of foods to eat and avoid for prostate health and blood flow. So you're not guessing what to combine or what might be working against you. Gives you a clear structure you can follow daily instead of trying to piece everything together yourself. If you want to apply this properly, you'll find it in the description below. Now, at this point, you've reduced inflammation, supported healthy cell function, and started to influence the hormonal pathway behind prostate growth. The next one goes even deeper because it directly targets the enzyme responsible for creating DHT in the first place. And that's where things start to change even faster. Now, the third one I want to talk about is pumpkin seeds. And what makes pumpkin seeds so effective is that they directly target the hormonal pathway we talked about earlier, DHT. They contain compounds called phytosterols, especially beta-sitosterol. Now here's the simple version. Beta-sitosterol helps reduce the activity of the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, the same enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT. And why does that matter? Because less DHT means less stimulation for prostate growth. So instead of letting that process continue unchecked, you're slowing it down at the source. But that's not all. Pumpkin seeds also help reduce inflammation inside prostate tissue. And why does that matter? Because inflammation doesn't just cause discomfort, it also accelerates growth. So by reducing it, you're calming the entire environment around the prostate. They also support urinary function, helping the muscles around the bladder and prostate work more efficiently. And why does that matter? Because those day-to-day symptoms, weak flow, incomplete emptying, are what affect your quality of life the most. Now, in terms of how to use them, keep it simple. About 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is enough. You can eat them on their own, sprinkle them over meals, or mix them into yogurt or salads. If you want to make it easier, combine them with the other nuts we've talked about and have them at the same time each day. Because again, consistency is what actually creates results. Now at this point, you've reduced inflammation, supported hormone balance, and started to directly slow DHT activity. But the next one takes a different approach, because instead of focusing mainly on hormones, it focuses on protecting your cells over time. And that's where everything starts to come together. Now the fourth nut I want to bring to your attention is pecans. And what makes pecans so useful is that they focus on protecting your prostate at a deeper cellular level. Because at this stage, it's not just about slowing growth, it's about protecting the cells themselves over time. Pecans are rich in antioxidants, especially a form of vitamin E called gamma tocopherol. Now here's the simple version. This helps neutralize damaging molecules created during inflammation, the kind that cause long-term wear and tear inside your body. And why does that matter? Because that damage creates an environment where abnormal growth becomes more likely. Cans help protect against that, support healthier cell function, and add another layer of protection to your prostate. They also contain small amounts of beta-sitosterol, so you're still getting some support for reducing DHT activity, just from a different angle. And they provide manganese, which helps your body's internal antioxidant systems work more effectively. So again, you're strengthening your system, not just targeting one pathway. Now, a couple of simple tips with pecans: keep them as natural as possible. Raw or dry roasted is best. Avoid heavily processed or sugary versions because that can increase inflammation. And you don't need a lot, just a small handful is enough. They work best when combined with the other nuts we've talked about, so you're supporting your prostate from multiple angles at once. Now, at this point, you've reduced oxidative stress, supported healthy cell function, and added another layer of protection. There's one more piece we haven't fully covered yet, and that's circulation. Because even if everything else is working well, your prostate still depends on healthy blood flow to function properly. And this is where the final one comes in: pistachios. And what makes pistachios interesting is that they support something we haven't fully focused on yet, and that's circulation. Because at this point, we've talked about hormones, inflammation, and cell protection. Your prostate also depends on something very simple: good blood flow. Pistachios contain antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, along with healthy fats that support your cardiovascular system. Now here's the simple version. Better circulation means better delivery of nutrients and oxygen to your prostate and better removal of waste. And why does that matter? Because when circulation is poor, healing slows down, inflammation builds up, and overall function declines. Pistachios help support that system. They've been shown to improve markers of oxidative stress and support heart health. And the two are closely connected, because when your cardiovascular system is working well, your prostate benefits as well. Now, in terms of how to use them, keep it simple. A small handful a day is enough. They're easy to snack on and easy to include, which helps with consistency. And they work best as part of a mix, not on their own, because each nut we've talked about targets a different part of the same system. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Each of these foods works in a slightly different way. Brazil nuts help reduce oxidative stress and support healthy cell regulation. Walnuts help calm inflammation and support hormone balance. Pumpkin seeds help reduce DHT and improve urinary function. Pecans protect your cells at a deeper level. And pistachios help improve circulation and support the entire system. And when you combine them, you're not just targeting one pathway. You're supporting your prostate from multiple angles at the same time. Now, in terms of applying this, keep it simple. Don't need to overcomplicate it. A small daily mix works best. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts, a few walnuts, a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, and a small handful of pecans or pistachios. That's enough to give your body what it needs. You can have them all at once or spread them throughout the day. The key is consistency, because this isn't about quick fixes. It's about gradually improving your body's internal environment over time. Better balance, less inflammation, more stable function, and over time that compounds. Before we wrap up, a lot of men ask what actually works when it comes to supporting prostate health, energy, and overall performance. I've linked 4 key natural supplements I recommend for prostate support, hormone balance, circulation, and overall vitality in the description below if you want to take this further. And remember, this is a space where men support each other. So share your age and where you're watching from below. Dr. Aria Brooks, and I'll see you in the next video.